Nobody remembered when the clock in the middle of Greybridge stopped working. It stood on a tall metal pole in the town square, between the post office and a small bakery. Long ago, people had trusted it. They met under it, waited for trains by it, and planned their days around it. Now its hands were frozen at 3:17. Emma noticed this on her first day in town. She had moved to Greybridge because she wanted silence. After 10 years in a loud city, the small houses, narrow streets, and slow life felt like medicine. She rented a small room above the bakery. Every morning, the smell of fresh bread woke her before the alarm. It felt safe, predictable. She began working in the local library. The shelves were old, the books were dusty, and the visitors were always the same people. Everyone smiled, everyone spoke softly. Everything seemed normal, almost everything. On her third day, Emma realized something felt wrong. At exactly 3:17 in the afternoon, the town fell silent. Cars stopped in the middle of the road. A dog froze with one paw in the air. Birds stopped flying, hanging in the sky like painted shapes. A woman pouring tea held the cup above the table without blinking. Emma dropped a book. It hit the floor. The sound felt violent, too loud, like it didn't belong. She looked around. She was the only one moving. Her heart began to race. Then, after 1 minute, everything continued. The cup reached the table. Birds flew away. The dog barked. Cars moved. Nobody reacted. Nobody asked questions. That evening, Emma sat in her room and tried to explain it to herself. Stress, she thought. Movement, new place, tired mind. But she knew it was not that simple. The next day, she asked Mr. Collins, the librarian, "Does anything special happen here at 3:17?" she asked, trying to sound calm. Mr. Collins adjusted his glasses slowly. "Tea time passes quickly," he said. "That's not what I meant." He looked at her for a long moment. His eyes were kind but distant. "You will get used to it," he replied. Emma smiled politely, but inside she felt cold. She didn't want to get used to it. The next day, Emma stood in the town square before 3:17. She held her phone and started recording the clock. 3:16. The air felt heavy. 3:17. The clock struck nothing. Time stopped. Emma swallowed hard and stepped forward. She walked between frozen people. Some faces looked peaceful, others looked tired. Like they had stopped holding something heavy. Fear rose slowly in her chest. Then she saw a boy sitting on the steps of the clock. He was chewing gum. "You see it too?" he said casually. Emma screamed before she could stop herself. The boy looked surprised. "Sorry," he said. "Most people scream." "You can move," Emma whispered, afraid the town might hear them. "Of course," he replied. "You are new. New ones always can." "Why?" Emma asked. The boy smiled, not happy, not sad. Because you haven't forgotten yet. His name was Lucas. He looked about 16, but his eyes were older than anyone Emma had known. During the frozen minute, they sat on the roof of the bakery, looking down at the silent town. "The town broke time," Lucas said. "Or time broke the town. I still don't know." "Why 3:17?" Emma asked. Lucas shrugged. That was the moment everyone decided to stop. "Stop what?" "Living," he said simply. Over the next days, Emma learned the truth. Long ago, a flood was coming toward Greybridge. The people knew. The radio warned them. They had time to leave. But leaving meant change. It meant new jobs, new homes, uncertain future. Fear won. At 3:17 p.m., the warning siren was supposed to sound. It never did. Someone turned it off. The flood never came. The river changed its path. But the decision stayed. The town froze itself for 1 minute every day, remembering the moment they chose safety over courage. "Why does nobody remember?" Emma asked. "They chose to forget," Lucas said quietly. "Forgetting hurts less than regret." "And you?" Emma asked. "Why do you remember?" Lucas looked at the frozen people below them. "Because I tried to leave." Lucas explained that anyone who truly wanted something different could move during the frozen minute. But there was a price. "You stop aging," he said. "You stop belonging to time." Emma studied his young face. "How long have you been 16?" she asked. Lucas smiled, but there was no joy in it. "Long enough to watch everyone else move on without me." That night, Emma couldn't sleep. She thought about her own past, the job she quit but loved, the call she never returned, the apology she planned but delayed. "You came here because you stopped too," she whispered to herself. At 3:17 the next day, Emma stood by the clock again. Lucas was waiting. "I want to change it," she said. Lucas shook his head. "You can't change the past." "No," Emma answered, "but the future." Together they climbed the clock during the frozen minute. Inside, the old mechanism was silent, covered in dust. One rusted lever remained. "What happens if I pull it?" Emma asked. Lucas didn't answer. She pulled. The clock screamed. Time rushed back, wild, broken, unstoppable. People shouted, cars crashed, birds flew in panic, then silence. Slowly the clock's hands moved. 3:18. The town breathed. People cried without knowing why. Some laughed, some just stood still, confused and shaking. Lucas was gone. Greybridge changed. People argued. They remembered fragments. Some left the town. Some stayed and rebuilt. The bakery closed earlier now. The library bought new books. And Emma. She stayed. Sometimes at 3:17, She stood in the square and listened. Time never stopped again. But one morning she noticed chewing gum stuck to the clock. Emma smiled. Some people don't disappear. They just pay the price so others can move forward. 10 years passed. The clock in the centre of Greybridge still stood between the post office and the bakery. It looked older now. The metal pole had rust marks and the glass cover was slightly cracked. But the hands moved. People sometimes stopped to look at it, as if they expected something special to happen. Nothing did. Time behaved normally. Most days. Emma walked through the square every morning on her way to the library. Her hair was shorter now, and there were small lines near her eyes. She liked them. They reminded her that time had touched her too. Greybridge was no longer a quiet town that hid from change. Some houses were gone. New ones appeared. A cafe opened where an old store once stood. People came and left. Not everyone stayed forever anymore. That mattered. Emma had become the head librarian 5 years ago. The library was brighter now. New shelves, new books, and even a small section for children. On the wall near her desk, there was a simple sentence in a wooden frame. Time moves when you do. Nobody knew who wrote it. Emma never explained. Most didn't ask. One afternoon, a boy came to the library. He looked about 17. His clothes were modern, his phone always in his hand, but his eyes searched the room carefully. "Excuse me," he said. "Yes?" Emma replied. "Do you have any local history books?" "We have a small section," she answered. "What are you looking for?" "The clock," the boy said. "The one in the square." Emma paused. "There are many stories about it," she said carefully. "I know," the boy replied. "That's why I'm here." They sat at a table near the window. "I heard time stopped here once," the boy said. Emma smiled. "That's a popular story." "Is it true?" "What do you think?" The boy looked outside at the moving people. "I think something did happen," he said. "My grandmother grew up here. And she always said Greybridge forgot something important. Then one day it remembered." Emma closed the book in front of her. "Maybe your grandmother was wise," she said. That evening, Emma walked to the clock alone. It was 3:15. She still came here sometimes before that time. Not because she feared the minute. She didn't. She stood in the same place where Lucas once waited for her. "I hope you're free now," she whispered. The clock answered with silence. Then a sound. Chewing gum. Emma turned. A young man leaned against the post office wall. He looked older than Lucas had, but the smile was familiar. "You took your time," he said. Emma's breath caught. "Lucas." "Not exactly," he replied. "But I guess you could say I'm what came after." They sat on the steps of the clock. "You're here," Emma said. "I visit," he answered. "You age now." "Yes." Emma smiled. You don't sound sad. I'm not, he said. Time feels heavy sometimes, but I prefer it this way. She watched the hands move. Do people remember you? She asked. Some remember the feeling, he replied. That's enough. What happened after that day? Emma asked. I moved, he said, for the first time. Where? Everywhere. And you? I stayed, Emma said. Someone had to. He nodded. You did well. 3:17 passed. Nothing stopped. That never gets boring, Lucas said softly. No, Emma agreed. It doesn't. The next morning, the boy from the library returned. I think I understand the clock now, he said. Emma raised an eyebrow. Oh, it's not about stopping time, he continued. It's about not hiding from it. Emma smiled. Yes, she said. That's exactly it. The boy closed his book. In that case, he said, standing up, I think I should leave town. Emma nodded. So did many others, she said. And that's okay, he asked. It always was. That evening, rain fell softly on Greybridge. The clock continued to tick. And for the first time in many years, nobody watched it in fear. Time was not an enemy anymore. It was a companion.